just can't stop, won't stop hustling. But I just
Grinders and grinders, greetings and salutations. Listen, I go by the name of the Black Abstract. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, notification bell so we can do this again. Fist bump. I missed you guys. So I did a thing today. I went and saw Scream. Yes, I actually went to the movies because, you know, I was a fan of the Scream franchise growing up. One of the movies, I'm not really a horror guy like that. So this is one of the movies that I actually liked, you know, growing up. I liked it. I think 2 might have been my favorite. 1 and 2 were my favorites, you know, and then it got kind of a little shaky afterwards, but I always went to see them. I went to the movies to see probably every single one of these. So when I saw the trailer for a new one and I saw that they had the original, the big 3 in there, Sydney, Dewey, and Gail, I'm like, oh, okay, this going to be lit. We back. And I was curious to see how they were going to take it or how they was going to incorporate everything because, you know, everything tied into each other. And it was different. I like what they did. I like how they tied everything into it. It brought in nostalgia. We learned, you know, and spoilers ahead, we learned that the main character, Sam, her dad is actually Billy Loomis, who is, you know, the original killer in the original Scream movie. And everybody's tied into somehow, you know what I'm saying? So the object obviously is, you know, we want to know who is the killer of the movie. And it had a lot of elements in here that I liked. Like I said, I liked the nostalgia. I didn't like how they did Dewey. You know, Dewey's living in the trailer park, bummed out, still fucking fiending over Gail. Him and Gail broke up, and we come to find out that he left her because he didn't want to live the city life. He was content with just being in Woodsboro. She had an opportunity in New York City, and he decided to leave in the middle of the night and not say anything. But he gets sucked back in by Sam into the investigation, unwillingly, but willingly. He texts Gail and tells her about what's going on, and automatically she appears somehow out of thin air one day. But he gives us a warning at the beginning in the trailer. He said, yo, the killer is normally the boyfriend. And that's who my girlfriend suspected was the killer. I thought it was Deputy Judy, you know, because she just had a funny vibe about her. So I'm like, okay, it's going to be her, somebody we don't see. And I was wrong. We also get a group of friends. You know, every movie got the group of friends. And we find out that 2 of the characters are twins. And they're actually related to one of the characters in the original trilogy as well, who was their uncle. And he was the other killer in the original franchise. So I'm like, oh, this is crazy. And they're actually living in the house where the original killings took place. I'm like, this is crazy again. So, you know, situations happen and like I said, spoilers, man. Dewey doesn't make it. Unfortunately, Dewey doesn't make it through this one. He does the dumb mistake. He shoots Ghostface, but then he's walking away. Like, you know what? You always got to shoot him in the head. And he goes back to shoot Dewey in the head. And then Ghostface had a bulletproof vest on and wind up just slapping the shit out of Dewey. And I'm like, oh, no. So we lose Dewey. Sydney decides to come back. Sydney and Gail got far hell away. Sydney's thriving. She has kids now, and Gail's thriving in her career, and they get sucked back into this. And we find out it was all a plan because the killers want to revive the series, the movies, the movie Stabs. They want to revive these and make these prominent again because the last Stab was like killers in outer space. You remember Jason had that one H2O or whatever, or Michael, one of those, and he was in space or some crazy shit. It was like, what's going on with this? So they getting super goofy with the movies because they have no source material. So they're trying to like revive the source material by you know, imitating or doing what they got to do in real life. So, you know, art imitates life. So that's what the whole purpose of them doing this for. And like I said, the main character, Sam, her dad is the original killer in the original Scream, and she's having hallucinations about it because it's so messed up. So you get a bunch of things, and one thing they do with these movies that I don't like is the fact that they they kind of like reduce the role of male leads, and now they make the woman overpowered. They do it in the Marvel movies. They do it and they make the woman the heroes now. Like the men are just reduced to they killed off all the men. And the heroes are all females. Even the bad guy is a female, and one of the bad guys is obviously Richie, who wound up being the boyfriend. He was actually one of the bad guys all along, and it was Sam's younger sister's best friend is one of the killers as well, Amber. So it make perfect sense when he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna kill Amber." He was filming her. He's like, "I'm gonna do something to her in the beginning," so that made sense. So that was one of the gripes I had with it. Feminine shit. It's always in movies. They always push an agenda, and one of the agendas is to reduce the roles of the male, and is to is to not masculate the black man. Like they want to demasculate, or I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but the black men in these movies too. I get. So, and that's the agenda I think they pushing on us. And it's just like, they was getting their ass handed to them for a bit of like a while. And I'm like, yo, it's too much talking. Like, just get over with it. Like, why y'all talking so much? Just do what you got to do to them. And I didn't think Sydney or Gail was going to make it out. And they do, once again. And I'm like, okay, they made it out. But Dewey couldn't make it out. Come on, man. But I guess they got a new 3. It's all females. Aside from that, I thought it was all right, man. It was okay. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. But I did notice that. I'm like, why is they always pushing this feminist agenda? Like, come on. Like, the men, like, Dewey couldn't survive. Dewey would not dump all his bullets out his gun, throw one back in there, and then I'm like, this is not even real. And then get that close to where he could get stabbed like that. It just didn't make sense. But it is what it is. It was okay. It was a decent movie. Listen, I rate everything with mics. It's out of 5 mics. I'm gonna give this a 3. I'm gonna give this a side. That's not bad. It's fair. It was a good time. I will watch it again. Just for nostalgia purposes. But post your comments below. I want to know what you guys thought about it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you feel the same way I did? As always, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you can, share this. Just trying to help out the algorithm. Just like it. Even if you don't like me, just like the video. Let's help out the algorithm and get it sent up to the YouTube guys, because they've been hating on me a lot lately. They have. I've been putting out consistent content, and I don't know. They got something against me. I don't know. It must have been something I said in one of my videos. Who knows? Anyway, post your comments below and let me know what you thought about it. Till next time. Peace.